Okay. Everyone loves hearing about someone else's flaws and weaknesses, right? So today you get to hear about some of mine. This is another episode of the Grit List, and I'm Rachel Stewart, your host. If this is your first time listening to Pieces of Grit, I want to say welcome. I'm so happy that you have decided to stop by. I love doing these short little Grit List episodes because it gives me an opportunity to do my favorite thing in the whole world, which is to challenge you to be a better person, to develop who you are, and to set some goals and run hard after them. So today we are getting into something that I am terrible at. I'm getting better, but I definitely struggle with this a lot. So paying compliments to people requires I guess that you are good with your words. And if you've listened to this podcast at all, you know that I tend to stumble over my words. It's a little awkward at times. And so anyway, you'll pick that up if you're new to the show. And giving compliments to people, there is this kind of relational thing. There's a touchy-feely aspect to it. And I don't know if you've ever read this book called The 5 Love Languages. Not giving compliments, but words, like words of affirmation, are a love language. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it. It's great for relationships or even understanding more about yourself. But words of affirmation are my husband Brooks's love language. They're one of his top 2. And I think it's like my lowest love language. So you can imagine how much fun that's been. But giving compliments to someone is really important. And what's also difficult for me is that because words are not that important to me, they kind of sound trite. Well, so when Brooks and I first got married, we would walk into the mall or we'd go into a store and we'd be in a clothing store, and the girl working there, she would give me some kind of compliment about what I'm wearing. And I was so I was so negative about what she was saying. I didn't believe her. I felt like, well, she's essentially getting paid to say things like that to customers that walk in. I'm like, you don't actually mean it. And so in a way, I felt like a lot of compliments were in that same vein where they're just not genuine, but it's not true. And you can also pay someone a truly genuine compliment and have them feel that. I think we can all tell when someone says something to me and you're like, yeah, that's just lip service. You really, really don't mean that. But here right now, we're going to look at 5 different ways to give genuine compliments to anyone. I tried to kind of balance this between people that you would know and maybe even a stranger. So like the person behind the checkout counter at the grocery store, well, I guess now they're behind a plexiglass wall, but you could even give a compliment to someone like that and really, really mean it. I feel like the foundation to giving a genuine compliment is to go beneath the surface and notice what matters. So telling someone their hair looks nice, the color, their makeup, whatever, I feel like that's good. But to praise someone's character and who they are, it really kind of gets to the heart of the matter. And in my personal experience, when people have given me compliments, I think that's what resonates with me and that's what makes it feel genuine. So when I walk into a store and someone says, oh my goodness, those are the cutest shoes. Where did you get those? Or, oh, your earrings. Okay, well, that's sales training 101. But when someone notices something really about me and who I am, then I feel it and I take it to heart and it does make me feel better. So number 1, praise someone for something kind that they said. Listen to people's words. And so it's not just about giving a compliment, but this will also challenge you to really listen to what people are saying and how they say it. And I think that sometimes we don't always realize how our words come across. Okay, maybe I should just say I don't always realize how my words come across. So when someone says something kind, not just nice, but truly kind, and they say it with a good tone of voice and it is very heartfelt, I like to point that out or thank them for it. So number 2 compliment that you could give to anyone is to notice improvements that they are making in themselves or to complement increased self-awareness. I am a nutcase about self-awareness and constantly trying to develop who I am constantly trying to develop who I am on a daily, just on an ongoing basis. And so if I notice that someone else is really making an effort in an area, I think it's important to point that out. So give someone a compliment about the self-work that they are doing. Number 3, point out something kind that someone did. So maybe some people, like for myself, I'm not good with words. So if I say something kind, then it would be nice for someone to notice that. I don't do it so that it gets noticed, but it would be nice if someone noticed. But someone who does something nice, maybe that's more of their love language, or maybe it's not, and they're really making an effort. So when you see an act of kindness, and I think that is often a lot easier to acknowledge. So you can be in the coffee shop and someone offers to pay for another person's coffee, someone holds a door open, or even just in a personal relationship that you have, someone brings Brooks brought flowers home for me a couple weeks ago, and that was really sweet. That's not something normal, and I really, really appreciated it. So I tried to make a big effort to really thank him over and over again because it meant so much to me. And I know that an action like that, which actually isn't something that he does all the time, it would be really important for me to point that out. Number 4, rewarding effort and not always achievement is important. So instead of only giving compliments to people who achieve a certain thing or when they're doing, also notice when people are trying, and not like a half-assed try, because that doesn't really deserve any kind of a reward. But when someone is really trying to learn something new or go above and beyond, even if they don't totally nail it, give them a compliment. And finally, number 5 for today, compliment someone for who they are. So I know I was talking about this a lot at the beginning. Instead of just focusing on what people do, to notice things about their personality that are inherent, that we're kind of stuck with. So I have an attention to detail, and that can be annoying for some people, but it can also be helpful and a benefit at other times. And so for me, it's really nice when someone appreciates or compliments things that can go either way. They can be a little quirky, but it's really meaningful to me because it's who I am at my core. And those are some of the things that I can't really change. And it takes a lot more attention, and I appreciate that someone is that invested in me when they take time to hear me and see me and notice those types of things. So who in your life, as you go about today, who in your life needs a compliment? Who are you noticing as you're doing your tasks? Even if you're working remotely, I'm sure you're going to be on at least one Zoom call or interacting in an email. Someone has done something today that you can compliment them for, and you never know. It might be the thing that they need, and it will just make their day. So don't be like me. Get better at your words. Learn at an earlier age to give compliments. It never hurts anyone. Be free with your words. All right. Thank you guys for swinging by. This is another episode of The Grit List. You can always find more resources if you just scroll up into the show notes. You can click over to piecesofgrit.com. You can find my latest book, Chaos Clarified. You can also find some other resources that are available for downloads in the Grit store. I have a life purpose worksheet statement. I love it. That is my absolute favorite one. I love doing that with groups of women. I also do that with individuals. It's one of my favorite things to coach women through. So also, if you would love to set up a coaching session, you can contact me through the website. Let's do it. Let's get started. Let's move you forward on your journey to self-awareness, to giving better compliments, to hitting all the goals and all the things that you want to see in your life. All right, that's all. I know I already said I was going to shut up, but now I really will. So peace out, get out there, amplify your life. See you guys next time.